China's 12-year-old swimmer Yu Zidi is not a prodigy anymore. She is now a history maker. Yu has become the youngest to win a medal at the World Aquatics Championships. The schoolgirl claimed bronze after China finished third in the women's 4x200-meter freestyle relay behind the United States and winners Australia.
A 12-year-old girl just stepped onto a pool deck at the World Aquatics Championships and became the youngest medalist in the history of the entire competition. No professional contract, no Olympic pedigree, just a kid from a landlocked province in China who wasn't even supposed to be allowed in the building. She was racing in the same pool on the same nights as Katie Ledecky, the most decorated female swimmer in Olympic history. And by the end of the meet, swimming officials themselves were publicly questioning whether it was even fair to let her compete. We'll get to that. But first, you need to understand exactly how impossible this story actually is. Chapter 1. A regular city with no swimming dynasty. Baoding, Hebei Province, China. Not a place with a swimming dynasty. Not a place that produces Olympic medalists on a conveyor belt. Just a regular city where most kids play regular games and nobody expects to see a world championship final come out of their neighborhood. Yu Zidi grew up there, in a normal family, with zero pedigree in competitive swimming. No famous swimming parents. No private coach from age 3. No development program built around her. Just a little girl in a hot Chinese summer. Chapter 2. The water park that changed everything. Here's the thing about how this actually started. It wasn't a grand plan. It wasn't a talent scout scouring the country for the next prodigy. It was a heat wave. Yu Zidi was 6 years old, and it was too hot outside, so her father took her to a water park just to cool off. She splashed around in the kids' pools for hours, day after day, just enjoying the water. And then one day, a coach who happened to be watching walked over and asked her a simple question. Did she want to learn to swim faster? That's it. That's the entire origin story. A hot day, a water park, and a coach who noticed something the rest of the world hadn't yet. Chapter 3. Records falling overnight. 3 years later, she moved to Hengshui to train seriously at the Hebei Taihua Jinye Swimming Club. And then something strange started happening. She got fast, dangerously fast. She started climbing the ranks of Chinese age group swimming, training alongside Li Bingji, an actual Olympic medalist, who Yu Zidi has openly called her idol. By May of 2025, at the Chinese National Championships, she swam the 200-meter individual medley in 2 minutes, 10.63 seconds. That wasn't just a good time for a 12-year-old. It was the fastest 2-100 IM ever swum by a 12-year-old, male or female, in history. She also won the 2-100 butterfly and the 4-100 IM outright at that same meet. Think about that. Not age group wins, outright national titles against grown women. Chapter 4. 2 seconds short. But here's the brutal reality nobody talks about. A year earlier, in 2024, Yu Zidi tried to chase an Olympic qualifying time in the 4-100 IM for the Paris Games. She swam 4 minutes, 40.97 seconds. The qualifying standard was 4:38.53. She missed it by about 2 seconds. 2 seconds doesn't sound like much until you understand what 2 seconds means at that level. It's the difference between the Olympics and watching from home. And it gets worse. According to reporting from her own regional sports bureau, Yu Zidi came close to quitting the sport entirely around age 11, worn down by outside pressure. Is she a generational talent the system almost lost? Or just a kid who peaked early in a small pond before real competition ever showed up? At 11 years old, even people close to her weren't sure. Chapter 5. The price of a childhood. The sacrifice here isn't a mortgage or an airport job. It's something arguably heavier. It's childhood itself. At an age when most kids are worrying about homework and recess, Yu Zidi left her hometown to train at a swim club hours away. Early mornings, grueling yardage, a life built entirely around a pool schedule instead of a normal 6th grade experience. She has talked about pushing through exhaustion in training by picturing herself competing internationally wearing her country's flag and her lucky cartoon dog swim cap. A 12-year-old using a stuffed animal print swim cap as motivation to survive Olympic-level training. That detail right there is the whole story. Chapter 6. 3 times not enough. And then came Singapore, the 2025 World Aquatics Championships. World Aquatics has a minimum age requirement of 14 to even compete at this meet. Yu Zidi was 12. She only got in because her times were so fast they met the top qualifying standard, regardless of age. Only the second time in history a swimmer that young had ever raced at a World Championships. And once she got there, the near misses started stacking up. In the 200 IM final, she touched the wall just 6/100ths of a second behind the bronze medalist. 6/100ths. In the 200 butterfly, she missed a medal by 0.31 seconds. In the 400 IM, she missed the podium again by roughly half a second. 3 individual events, 3 fourth-place finishes. 3 times the doubters could point and say, close, but not close enough. Maybe the hype was ahead of the results. Maybe a 12-year-old simply isn't supposed to medal against grown adults. Drop it in the comments right now. Did you think a 12-year-old could actually medal at a senior world championship? I need to know if anyone saw this coming. Chapter 7. The relay that changed everything. But Yu Zidi had one more race left, the women's 4x200 freestyle relay. China needed her to swim the leadoff leg of the preliminary heat just to help the team reach the final. She wasn't guaranteed a medal. She wasn't even guaranteed to swim in the final itself. She just had to go fast enough, right then, to give her country a chance. She swam her leadoff leg in 1 minute, 59.28 seconds. China qualified for the final. And when the final was swum without her, replaced by a teammate, as is standard relay procedure, China touched the wall in 3rd place, bronze, which meant Yu Zidi, who had swum in the qualifying heat, earned a medal, a real, official World Championship medal, at 12 years old. 12 years old. Say it again. The youngest medalist in the history of the World Aquatics Championships. Chapter 8. 89 years. Now let me put that number in context, because it needs to fully land. The last time anyone that young won a medal at a global championship event was 1936. A 12-year-old Danish swimmer named Inge Sørensen won Olympic bronze that year, back when the world was a completely different place. 89 years passed before anyone Yu Zidi's age stood on a podium at that level again. And it's not just the relay. Her 400 IM time in Singapore was roughly 15 seconds faster than what Summer McIntosh, a reigning world champion, was swimming at the exact same age. Her 200 butterfly time would have been good enough to win gold at the World Championships just 1 cycle earlier. This is a 12-year-old tracking directly alongside the greatest trajectories the sport has ever produced. Chapter 9. What Ledecky's world just watched. Here's what makes this even bigger. Katie Ledecky was in that exact pool, at that exact meet, adding to her own legendary medal count. Fans and swimming commentators immediately started drawing comparisons between the two, the most decorated female Olympian in history, sharing a deck with a girl who wasn't even supposed to be old enough to be there. And it wasn't just fans asking questions. Brent Nowicki, the executive director of World Aquatics itself, publicly admitted the sport may need to revisit its own age rules because of what Yu Zidi was doing to the record books, essentially asking out loud whether letting a 12-year-old compete against the best adults on the planet was something the sport was actually ready for. Not a boastful speech, not a viral victory lap. After the relay, Yu Zidi simply told reporters the bronze motivated her to keep working hard, and that she wanted to bring the medal home to share the moment with her family. That's it. A kid who just made history, thinking about her parents. That's the whole story right there. A water park, a hot summer, a coach who noticed, and 89 years of history, broken by a 12-year-old, in a dog print swim cap. Chapter 10. What comes next? The Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games are looming. Yu Zidi will be 15 by then, the exact age Katie Ledecky was when she made her own Olympic debut in London. If the trajectory holds, she won't just be the youngest name in the field anymore. She'll be one of the favorites. She's already been nominated for a Laureus World Sports Award as the Breakthrough of the Year, the youngest nominee in that award's history, with the World Championships in Budapest and a home stretch toward LA still ahead of her. So here's what I need you to tell me in the comments. Los Angeles, 2028. Yu Zidi walks out for an Olympic final at 17 years old, fully grown into her prime. Does she medal? Does she become the athlete who finally ends the Ledecky era? Drop your prediction below. I read every single comment. And if you want to see who's next on the list of teenagers about to break the sport wide open, make sure you're subscribed.